Some more information coming our way. Iran is now claiming that there has been a massive surge in volunteers. As per reports, over 10 million people have registered to defend the country in case of a ground invasion. Mr. Dwivedi, if US does put boots on the ground, Iran is looking at a lot of people. These reports that are coming in from the Iranian state media are saying that over 10 million people have volunteered to fight for the country. If the US does put boots on the ground, will it be able to manage with the number of people that have been deployed to the region?
I would like to begin by contending initially. As a precursor element, I would contend that the big question mark that looms large over the military thinkers, the analysts, and the foreign policy observers is that has the American and Israeli shock and awe campaign through the initial phase of epic fury, has it done enough to weaken and soften the Iranian establishment or the Iranian fighting machine? Because after the barrages of missiles and the bombings, we actually do not know, sitting here in Delhi, that has the backbone. Or the psychology, it's also a part of a psychological warfare. And has that psychological warfare completely or partially broken the backbone of the American, the Iranian military establishment? We need to look at it. Now, as far as these news tidbits which you're talking about, ma'am, I personally feel that Iran has always been historically notorious for this particular facet, wherein one can contend that in the Iran and Iraq war also, Iran became symbolic, and the Iranian military maneuvers, they became consonant with the term called as hordes, 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 wherein, like the Chinese, like the Han, they might not have good weaponry. These civilians, after quick training or no training at all, they would have no good training. They would have there would be a lack of weapons, but these they can be sent like human fodder to the front. Wherein, if you go back by 20 days, the Iraqi forces were already congregating on the Iraq-Iran border. So the issue is that Saddam Hussein in the 80s was definitely ruffled and troubled by this mass influx of the Iranian hordes. So maybe, I'm not a military analyst, but still the idea is that maybe the same kind of a military technique or a maneuver is being attempted once again, wherein the quintessential, outnumbering, and you cannot outgun the Americans, but outnumbering the American boots of force can be on the offing. Another question that comes to my mind is that if I refer to this particular tidbit from the Center for Studies of International Studies, that institute, we are going to find that we need to ask ourselves this honest question, that what has happened to the JSSMs, that is the joint surface to air missiles, wherein every shot will does cost around $3.5 million. Then another entity that comes to my mind, they have been fired by America into Iran, is JDAM, which means the joint, direct munition, wherein the cost hovers around $1 lakh million. So, but one of the good signs of an American one-uppance, which is that the Iranian volleys have decreased. They were firing barrages and barrages of missiles and drones on the GCC countries and the American bases and on Israel, but that has dwindled, not considerably. That has drastically dwindled. So I think the flattening out of Iran might have occurred, but is it the right time for the American boots of ground to go with the conditionality of Kharg Island still remaining under the control of Iran? So that is a puzzle which I am, as a foreign policy student, and an expert, I am grappling with. This is all what I have to say.
Okay. I'll